All right. Good morning, Who That Nation. Welcome to the WDN Chatline podcast. This is the host CB. And this morning, I would like to go live and make this a fan show. Yesterday, as we got on to do our post game show, we didn't open up the phone lines. We really wasn't reading the fans' comments. And one thing you guys know about this show, man, we love to have our audience involved in our show. The audience is what makes this show drives and goes. So just wanted to get on here this morning, man, and read every single comment about yesterday's game. I'm pretty sure you all had a lot of comments and thoughts about the game that you wanted to get off your chest. Now's the time to vent. I'm free this morning. Just wanted to get on for a good 30, 40 minutes, man. Just give you guys the floor to call in. I'm about to put the link in the comment section. You guys can call in, vent about the game, um, any questions you have, or anything about, the direction of the Saints at this point. We can talk about it this morning. So that's what I wanted to do, man. And just apologies for yesterday, man. Once again, we all was frustrated. You know, really wasn't in the mood to talk yesterday. I was out there at the game and just felt like just going upside one of the Panthers' heads, but can't really can't really do stuff like that. But man, it was just embarrassing to be out there amongst that fan base, knowing that with a better ball club and just watching that team do that. So yeah, man, I'm definitely in a much better mood today. But that's it. So let me just get to the comments, man. Let me give a shout out to the listeners once again. First off, let me just put the link in the comment so you guys can call in. Shout out to all of y'all, man. And I'm going to send the link to the Panthers fan that called in, Mike. He called in on our preview show. One thing about us, about the podcast, if we're gonna bring a guest on during the week and we lose the game, we're gonna stay true to the word. So I'm gonna send him the link as well. I'm not sure if he's busy or not. If he want to call in or not, we will see. But yeah, we're not gonna be the podcast that invite our opponent, a guest from the opposing team, and then run ship when we lose. Definitely not doing that. But yeah, Miss Tar, yeah, it was just more of a mood, and um, we definitely was pissed off yesterday, which I'm sure you was. But Miss Tar, you definitely got the floor, for comments and anything. But I see we got the phone line already open, so let's just go ahead and get right to it. I see we got the right. Right, what's up, fam?
What up, my man? How are you?
I'm good. Lois, yours. Just get any question, any thoughts on team so far, fam? This is the time, man. The floor is yours. How you feeling?
Very disappointed, man, to be honest with you, because I had such high expectations going into this year. And what I mean by that is I figured that they would have ironed out a little bit of the nuts and bolts at this point so far. I understand that the offense haven't gelled to its capacity, but still, some of the things that I witnessed on yesterday, um, you kind of look at what the media talks about and you try to not hear the narrative, and then you come back and you see some of those things come into fruition, and you think to yourself, well, just maybe was it something I was missing? I mean, I am a fan of football, not just a Saints fan, but I am a fan of football. And some of the things that I saw were actually true. You know, this team is going to go as far as Jameis is going to bring it. And I always thought, we was a defensive minded team up to this point. But when you have such talent and such weapons, and you have a quarterback that's second guessing his throws and not actually going through his reads and telegraphing where he's going to select his plays. And then when you get to the point where you're on a line and you know you're communicating as a quarterback, and all your people that's on the line have to second guess, or or come back and ask you, are you, or, you know, what are you saying? Or what are you running? And your time is running out and you don't see the blitzes that is being thrown and all those things coming at you. You have a tendency to second guess and go, wait a minute. By the second half of this game, you figured, okay, adjustments should be made. They should be in the back talking about, okay, you see that the blitz is coming from the left side, or you see the blitz is coming from the right side. You know how to pick up this or pick up that. And then you see it, and the same thing continues in the third quarter. You're like, wait, maybe I'm missing something. Because I take my hats off to my defense. My defense played stellar as long as they could, in my opinion.
Right.
They did what they could for as long as they could. But when you hearing commentators saying things like, wow, you had this guy in the middle of the field, he was wide open. What are you doing? Wow, you had this guy and he was, sitting off to the right, fanning you down. Like, what are you doing? Then you start to think to yourself, okay, Dennis, I understand that, you want to pick up where we left off, but at this point, you should be making decisions like, okay, man, you're not your best you. And since you're not your best you, or since you are not, the best product of yourself, I don't need you to be selfish. I need you to be honest and be truthful. If you can't deliver the ball with the, velocity, or if you can't put this thing where it needs to be and you're not 100%, then I need to put you down until you get healthy. Putting you out there is, I'm not putting my best product on the field. I'm not putting the best that I have out on the field if the head of what's going on is damaged. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So I'm like, yo, man, at some point he should have been strong enough to say, hey, yo, fam, you can't go, man, because I'm looking at you and you're not your best self, bro. And you know what? I prefer to put Andy Dalton out there and take a chance at, to see what I have as my backup than to put you continually out there and, you know, because of your ego. Dude, we have too much riding on this season. We're wasting too much talent. We're wasting too much defensive talent. As a matter of fact, we're wasting too much talent of that boy come from LSU and that other boy come from LSU. I did not only feel bad for my expectations, I felt bad for the people we brought in.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was feeling bad and on all levels of feeling bad, not just for me, but man, Tyron, man, I'm sorry, bro. Jarvis, bro, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Oh, bro, I'm, because I know when these boys came home, I know what they came home and I know what they came home for. And, I'm, they're blitzing 9 people, 6 people, 7 people, and my line can't pick it up. I know my line can't pick it up, but we still running routes that take too long to develop. What are we doing? We're we're keeping Kamara in. Okay, if they're blitzing 7 people, that means that the check down will be definitely open because guess what? Nobody's picking up the running. But we're gonna leave the running back in and let the running back block. Why? He's Kamara. All we got to do as soon as they come in, drop it to him, let him go. I don't know. I just saw too many things, man, and I may be rambling, but bro, that's where I am, fam.
Oh, go ahead, fam. Far as with Jameis, so you saying to for Jameis to sit down, which I agree with what you said, but you want him to sit down. Is it due to you believe his injury is the reason why he can't get the throws off that needs to be made? Some of those throws that was off, you think the injury played a part? Do you think that's just him in general?
Well, I want to believe, and you know what, I could be wrong, but I want to believe that it's his injuries because we stood and we supported this guy, and uh, I I don't want to believe that that the media perception is correct. I just don't want to believe that as a Saints fan. However, sitting back and watching it, I would prefer to accept he's not himself. He's less than 100%. He's less than based on what I saw. He's less than even 75%. I would prefer to take that than to accept the narrative that, you know what, maybe this stage is a little bit too big for him. You know what? Maybe he does not go through reads. You know what? Maybe he does have some mental things that prevent him from making the correct read. Maybe, you know, he can't run a Drew Brees' offense. Maybe he can't run Pete Carmichael's plays. Maybe he can't. Maybe this is too, complex for him. Maybe he needs more of a dummy down version of what they're asking him to do. Maybe we need to shorten the routes. And I don't know why he feel a belief he have to always throw the ball to the man that's down the field 10 yards versus the guy that's 5. I don't know, man. I'm kind of on the fence. I'm like 50-50.
Okay, I agree. Yeah, yeah, I believe it's more of his injuries. Because the 5 games we got from him last year, he was not. Sean wasn't letting him, use his cannon, far as throwing the deep ball. So he was throwing check down throws and little short to intermediate routes. He was making those throws. Also, I mean, I can't say that I won't conclude, yet to say he's unable to make these short intermediate throws just based off of him. That's just who he is. I believe it's more of an injury thing. But with that being said, I agree with you. I believe it's a little selfish move, but it starts with Dennis. It starts with Dennis. He the head coach. You
I
seen that
agree.
Tampa game. Those situations too where he could have took off for the first down. Those were
Right.
crucial third downs. Crucial third downs. And you basically letting him make the decision where you feel like he can play. I know Jameis know this year means a lot for us his career.
His career, right.
Right. He know his future is on the line for us, whether he can be a starter in this league or not. Because if he don't get it with us, it's gonna be tough, moving forward with him. But with that being said, you want to put your best out. You want to be your best when you out there playing. And if it's not like this is a foot or an ankle or something like that. This is your ribs. You got to use your torso to, far as making throws. And if
Right.
you feel like your ribs is not there and you just trying to tough it out, you really doing damage to yourself while
And a,
also being
and a
selfish
disservice
and
to
you
your
hurt the
team.
team.
Right. I 100% agree, man. I 100% agree. So, I like I said, I don't like what I saw yesterday, and because of the expectations that I had for this team, when I know that this team is way better than what we performed yesterday. We are so much better than what we displayed. Man, we are so much better. And I understand it's Carolina, and I understand it was Tampa, and I understand that, they're in our division, and your division opponents know you better than any other opponents. I get that. But still, you at least got to show some type of discipline to the fact that, okay, look at what's coming. Point it out to you. You got the clock that is counting down, and you're making checks, and people not understanding what checks or who to pick up. I mean, that's stuff that rookies do.
Hmm.
That's stuff that you see in a quarterback that's only been in there maybe like a year, and he's still learning. But when you got somebody that's, man, this is your scheme that you, and a lot of the guys that's been there has been in the scheme longer than 2 years.
Right.
So this is not something that is new where the clock is constantly, you're battling the clock just to get yourself organized. So I saw a lot of discrepancies, man, that I'm totally disappointed with. Not the fact that of the talent that in a product, but just mentally. So that's all I have, bro. And bro, appreciate you, appreciate Miss Carly, everything you guys do, man, and all y'all podcasters, bro. Love you guys.
Okay, fam, man. Definitely appreciate you for calling in. And it's always love from us, man. We definitely
Yeah.
appreciate you for supporting us. Who that to you, fam?
Yes, sir. Who that, bro? And don't forget to hit that like button, y'all. Yeah.
All right, fam. Shout out to the right calling in. OG, I'm about to put you on. I just want to excuse me, my mic went on mute. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, once again, if you listen to the podcast, if you listen to our podcast, we 100% support Jameis. But right now he's hurt, and we feel like, especially after yesterday's game, that it was some throws that he could have been made. I don't believe it's just the play calling. That throw to Jarvis in the end zone, that was an easy 7. Jarvis had the guy beat. He was open. Missed throws like that. He also had some other throws that was dropped. I know one throw for certain it was a drop pick. This don't. I'm not just blaming Jameis. The right wasn't just blaming Jameis. You gonna have some fans that just blame Jameis. We don't do that on here. AK, we addressed it yesterday on the post game show. That fumble, he's a vet player, all pro player, arguably the best running back in the game. You can't make mistakes like that. And that was a score for 6 off of that fumble. So, no, it's not just Jameis' fault. We addressing Jameis right now. The right brought it up. He's the driving force. We got a guy out here that's playing hurt, which he does it. He can sit down and get healthy for a week, but really 2 weeks. He rest up this week, then he rest up next week and get back out there. As far as Carmichael, I can't conclude that Carmichael's play calling. He's been part of. Yeah, we know Sean Payton was the play caller, but Carmichael, he's had his shots where he had his chances where he called plays and it was successful. Am I giving him a complete pass? No, we definitely can get better play calling. Andy Dalton is not going to do anything. I really don't know what he's going to bring. He looked good in the preseason, but I'd rather have a guy that is 100%, as far as injury wise, than about 75. And that's all with Jameis. That's what I'm saying with Jameis. We're not blaming Jameis or anything like that. It's more blame to go around than Jameis. I see we got the OG in the building. OG, what's good with you?
What's up, CB? How you doing today, bruh?
I'm good, fam. Better than yesterday, fam.
Oh yeah, I can tell you're doing a lot better than Sunday because Sunday was a it was a rainy day for you and WD.
Oh yeah, fam.
I
Oh, definitely.
don't blame you for being angry. I don't blame you because after what I saw on Sunday, it didn't look good. It really didn't look good at all. So so I'm trying to think about what I'm going to say. But
Yeah, it's a lot. I feel you on that.
no, it's a whole lot to say,
Yeah, it's got to pick where you want to start.
man, dude. With but this play calling, bruh, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But I mean, why you okay? It's third down and 3. Why you want to try to make a pass and you got these running backs to make a run? Think about that. I don't care if it's like 2nd and 4 or like 3rd and 4 or whatever. Why you want to make a pass and you got those running backs to make it to run like 4 or 5 yards. I mean, help me with that. CB, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I definitely don't know, fam, on that one.
I don't know who this. I don't know who this Brian David is, but you're banned. But anyway, back to what I was saying. It was. That's one thing. We ain't gonna play that around here. This is a call in. This ain't. He probably a Panther fan, and I ain't got that kind of time right now.
Yeah, he definitely hadn't been listening to this podcast. You
Yeah.
know we not just putting James on the spot, but he gets some blame as well. Everybody getting blamed now. Ain't nobody getting off the hook.
No.
And we done made that clear.
Exactly. I mean, this offense, bro. It's just ridiculous, man. I just don't know where to begin. I mean, the offense ain't clicking on the right track. I mean, how you gonna miss a tackle? I mean, and Homer made after that last touchdown the Saints did. The next possession for Carolina, they went down the field and scored another touchdown. I'm like, that's it. That's it. When I looked at it, I just turned the other way, bro, because I was ready to head out the house anyway. because I had a program to go to yesterday. It was around 3:00, so I had to leave around 2:30 after that last possession because it was ugly. I mean, seriously. But this team need to freaking wake up, bro. I mean, the play calling, the defense, the special teams, especially the special teams. How can you have a missed field goal, and the other one got blocked? I mean, help me with that, CB. Muted, bruh. CB, you still muted, bruh. You muted. You still there?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm not sure if he came through the interior or was it on the outside. I believe they jumped up and blocked it. Yeah, that's how that blocked field goal happened. But that's special teams, man. I mean, the O line they didn't get a good enough push on the ball.
No, they didn't.
And then the other one was a missed field goal by Lux. I mean, he got one block, so the other one, really can't really nobody can get a pass. Nobody can get a pass for mistakes. But I will say on the defensive side, I mean, damn, you really holding the team afloat. I mean, at some point, you can't expect the defense to be perfect on all the drives. Now, as far as PJ, this the second game in a row he hasn't been playing with. Was he put in position? Do they got him out there in the right position? No. I mean, the Dennis knows you gonna have him out there. Just keep him in the backfield like he's been doing. He's been making, he's been playing exceptionally well. Just operating in the backfield. But yeah, when he's up at the line of scrimmage, yeah, poor tackling yesterday. The same with Tyrann Matthew had a poor tackle, but how long is you gonna ask these guys to, play perfect? I mean, we know about the 64-yard TD. We know about that. I mean, but damn, is the offense gonna help the defense out?
Or
I mean,
something.
you can't expect the guys to be perfect all game. They out there, they gonna eventually get tired. I mean,
Uh, like you muted again, CB. Yeah, he's still muted. But yeah, you still muted, bruh.
can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you. Then Then you left. Well, CB, while you're getting your stuff together, this team just need to wake up, bro. Just thank God we're not 0-3. Just thank God we're not 0-3.
You can hear me now, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, back to what I was just saying, right? I was saying you can't expect the defense to play all game and just be perfect out there. You can't expect that. At some point, something gonna give because the team gets tired, right? I mean, the defense, you gonna get tired at some point. I mean, if the offense going three and out, and your defense is out there every other minute, I mean, that's how things happen. And then we look at the defense, be like, well, they gave up this and this and this. I mean, those guys need a little break, but the offense wasn't giving it to them, and that's not trying to defend, the missed tackles and all that. No, that ain't defending that. And I'm saying, you just gotta understand. We gotta understand that these guys was out there holding the fort down. The same with the Tampa game. The defense was
Yep.
holding the fort down, but then at some point, something is gonna break. I mean, if they out there, so long.
Yeah, that's kind of like similar to what happened last year. I mean, the defense was.
I think you went muted, Jerry. Yeah, it got your mic muted. But y'all just let me know if y'all can hear me. I just swap. I'm using the mic from the computer. I don't know what's up with my mic now, but yeah, man. I mean, I want Brian Davis to call in. I think you'll who that. We just gotta on this podcast. We not the podcast is gonna be just blame James when things go wrong. No, he is he a part of it? Hell yeah, he definitely gonna be a part of the blame. No, it's no excuse. You can't defend that 351, the 351 yards that he. Let's see. Okay, I think Jerry. Yeah, that's on Jerry's end with the muted mic, but hopefully he'll fix it. I mean, but yeah, the defensive line on the defensive side, the secondary, eventually you're gonna get tired, man. I mean, that's just how that go. It's only so much the defense gonna do. But I want Brian Davis. I'm gonna put the link back in the comment. Like I said, we not, it's definitely not nothing disrespectful. Nothing. We just want to have a conversation. You got a lot of comments. Just call in, man, and just vent. The floor is y'all's today. The floor is y'all's. I'm gonna read the comment. I didn't want to do a lot of too much talking because I want y'all to have the floor. Shout out to Dejuan. I'm gonna say D1 15. He said offensive coordinator and QB needs to step up or step down. Pete he has to do a better job at calling the plays. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree on that. And Jameis, if he's going out there playing, he's going to be judged as if he's 100% from me. And my co-host in the building, shout out to WD, he agreed as well. You're gonna step out on the field. You telling us we that you 100%. I mean, that's just how that go. I mean, I'm sorry, but the thing with Jameis, what I'm saying, I just think it's obviously you can see that he's not making the throws that needs to be made. I'm personally not saying, oh, that's who Jameis is. I'm not saying that. I believe those ribs have a lot to do in the way he's passing the football. But with that being said, it starts with Dennis. You have to sit Jameis. Sit Jameis, and we got Andy Dalton. He's good enough to keep the offense afloat. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sitting here talking about he's better than Jameis, or he gonna, you know, he's gonna make the offense flourish and stuff like that. They could have potentially looked better. It potentially, yeah, it probably will until Jameis get healthy, until his ribs get right. I mean, but it just is what it is. I'm not sitting here, trying to do this Jameis versus Andy Dalton. I think Jameis honestly is doing that himself a little bit. I believe so. I believe he's thinking, what if Andy Dalton comes in and performs, have a better showing, and then that's a you can't look at it like that, man. You got to look at it for the team. You seeing the offense is not being productive. The offense is not being productive, so you have to make those tough decisions. That's a tough decision. You want to be out there playing, but okay, but let's see. I'm gonna just take Jerry off the line right quick till he get his mic situated. I'm gonna just read some comments. Shout out to Miss Tar. Miss Tar, if you want, you can get back on the call line until the OG gets his mic situated. But shout out to you. Said he may not be blaming Jameis Winston. He just beginning with him. Let's see. Shout out to Rose City. Said blame the false starts. Were you in the third mandible turn? Yeah, I agree with all that. Yeah, the false starts, the penalties. Far as that chip block on Mark, I don't agree with that call. And that could have started a momentum for us offensively because we was in field goal range when that call was made. So yeah, it's more to it than just Jameis, but you got to start with the quarterback. When you talking about what's going on with the offense, you start with the quarterback and then you move on to the offensive line. Jameis does not get all the blame for the offense not thriving. Everybody get a share. My blame with Jameis is what I'm blaming him for is not sitting down, letting his heels rest up. That's what my issue is. You gotta get the competitive. It gotta just be humble for a week. Just chill. Let Andy Dalton come in and play and get healthy. Because we got a long stretch. You don't want nothing to get worse. I mean, if you able to go out there and still play through it, then obviously it's not, severe, but it can potentially get severe if you keep playing with it. I mean, that's just what it is. Let me put the link back in the comment. Really want to hear you guys talk honestly. So y'all please call in. Miss Tar, I seen you had called in. Okay, shout out to Whitley Jeremiah. He said, right, bro, he need to sit on the bench until he get healed up and stay healthy. Straight up, I hope Andy Dalton will help our offensive lineman to win this season. I'm just being dead serious. I can't deal with Jameis injury like that. For real, for real. Dennis needs to change to the backup quarterback. It's my opinion. Hey, I agree with it, with everything you said. I mean, he needs to sit until he get 100% healthy. Those ribs, man. I mean, you throwing with your torso. I mean, that's just common sense. You're just trying to get your teeth through it. It's one thing that if we was winning ball games and the offense was succeeding and you still out there playing and it's not really you're not having affecting the offense not being able to move the ball there, and that's different. Then it is what it is. Shout out to James Smart. He said exactly, CB. I think he thinking that's all facts. Okay, Miss Tar. She said I'm coming back in. Give me a sec. Okay, Miss Tar. Shout out to Miss Tar. Definitely a huge supporter of the pod. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Just trying to let you guys have the floor today. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna say nothing on Jameis, and unless one of you guys asks me the question on Jameis, I'm gonna move to the offensive line. Let's talk about that so we can stop talking about this blame Jameis. And I'm not just blaming Jameis, but he gonna get some of it. It ain't no pass. You gonna strap up and play. Hey, you getting criticized like you 100%. Okay, with the offensive line. Well, excuse me, we got the OG back in.
Hey,
Okay,
hey,
OG,
say,
you good?
hey, CB, I'm sorry, man, but I had a call coming in, so I had to take it. So I know you had to continue about that, but I'm back now.
Oh, okay, OG. Well, how you feeling on the offensive line? What's your thoughts on the offensive line?
The offensive line just need to do better, CB, because I mean, you have good plays that come into play, but you gotta be on the same page with those running backs and those wide receivers, especially with the quarterback, because it ain't gonna get no better if this offensive line gonna let get because as you see, James already hurting out there. With the injuries and stuff. So, but you gotta do more better protection out there. That's all I'm saying. You just need to do better.
Right. I definitely agree. I mean, we know Jameis when I'm talking about Jameis with the play call, recognizing recognizing the defense, being able to call out the blitzes. Yeah, he gets blamed for that. Now, can Jameis go up to the offensive line and make the blocks for the offensive line? Can he go up there and block for, James Hurst, Pete, McCoy, Ruiz, and Ram? He can't make the blocks for them. It was more what I seen. It was just more of like the safeties coming up from the outside. Like I know that blitz by Jeremy Chin, that was clearly a call from the. I mean, he came up from the outside. He was on the outside. And nobody picked him up. And this was something that should have been recognized before the play was snapped.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the blitzes coming through the offensive line gotta get it together. Throckmorton, he was getting his ass whooped yesterday in the pass game. Pass
Mm-hmm.
game definitely was getting his ass kicked. And like I said yesterday, I didn't even realize Andrews Pete had went out. I'm not even sure. I still don't remember what quarter he went out. When I seen that play with Throckmorton, I was trying to figure out why he was in until I had, you know, read that Pete had got a concussion. But yeah, the offensive line has to play better.
Yeah, they have to. They have to.
Right.
And but the play calling really got to get better. Seriously, I mean, because this offense is not going to function. With the way it's going now, and that's probably why we didn't start doing anything until like late in the fourth quarter, because we've been shut out with 0 points in the first, second, and third quarter until they finally woke up in the fourth quarter. And that's always been the Saints' problem. They always start off slow. They got to start. They got to get out of that funk and start starting fast, because if they do that, then they'll have another shot to score another touchdown. Because that's all I want to see in this team. I just want them to do a whole lot better, because if this continue the way it's going, it ain't gonna get no better. And this is a wake up call right here, CB. Sit straight up.
Right. Like I said, and the same, if you really look at it, the same thing happened in the Atlanta game. It took until what, the fourth quarter for the offense to get
Mm-hmm.
a drive going. So basically the whole entire well, all three games, it's been taking forever for the offense to wake up. In the Bucks game, we were starting to get a little drive going, and then fumble that changed the momentum. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the offense, man, it has to get in the rhythm. Good thing is, far as our season as a whole, you got 14 games left, but you 1-2 in the division, so we pretty much got to sweep out the rest of the division. But just before we even look ahead, they gotta acknowledge the issues they have now offensively. It's no excuse that you had that much talent out there and you can't even get off to fast starts offensively. You can't be explosive. It's no
No.
excuse for that
And
at all.
and CB, another thing is and not only the offense got to do better, but they need to cut. They need to cut this. They need to cut these penalties down. And I say this all the time, CB, and you hear me say it all the time. And the chat know what I'm talking about. You got to watch out for these no good, low down, good for nothing scumbag referees, because they ain't nothing but flag happy out there. Time the Saints get stuff going, they can't wait to pull that flag out of the back of their ass and throw it out there on the field. They can't. They can't just. They just can't wait until we get something going. They always try to do something to stop us. That let you know how hated we are with those damn zebras. And they got to clean that shit up. They seriously got to clean that shit up, bruh. Seriously, because it ain't, like I said, it ain't gonna get no better if they keep doing penalty after penalty after penalty. I'm like, dude, come on now. I mean, they need to have a meeting for these damn referees so they can do their job better and stop screwing us so fucking much.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
And the thing, the thing, OG, the team know that. The team know how the refs is gonna come in and call stuff, especially with us. I don't know, man. I guess the bounty, obviously the bounty thing when Payton was here, that just had a huge effect on the league. But we already know how the Zebras gonna call it with us at times. So if you know these things, why is we shooting our own self in the foot?
Exactly.
I mean, that ain't gonna do nothing but make things worse, like fumbling issues. A fumble, AK wasn't a fumble that's 7 points off the board right there. We in the ball game. I mean, so yeah,
Exactly.
it's more blame to go around. AK definitely getting blamed for that. But he cannot make a mistake like that.
No, you can't.
But anything else, fam, you want to get off your chest, fam?
No, CB, just I just pray that this team do a whole lot better than they're doing now, bro. I just want them to start doing a lot better, start winning games, because stats don't matter to me. I don't care about stats. I don't care about records and stuff. I just want to win a game. I'm like, I got that Jim Moore effect. I ain't worried about no playoffs right now. I'm worried. I just want to win a game and move on to the next one. That's all. That's my main focus. And hopefully and prayerfully, in October, November, and December, maybe things will start getting better.
Big facts.
And I see Mike Ricks in the chat. So, hey, congratulations to you. Y'all got y'all first win. No argument for me. Y'all played better than us because we look like shit out there on Sunday.
Right.
So that's all I got.
Well, I definitely appreciate you for calling in, OG. Letting your vent out. So shout out to you, fam. We
Thank
just got
you.
to get right this week.
Shouts out to everybody in the chat. I know it's tough, but we still holding on. So hey, we just got to get better every week. So just because we wanted to, just thank God we're not 0-3. So thank the good Lord for that. So we just pray that we do better, and hopefully we'll see some changes coming up in the next 3 or 4 weeks or so. So let's see where this go from here.
Fact.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, OG, well, you have a good one, fam. And who that to you?
Same to you, CB, and shouts out to you and the team, bruh.
All right, fam. Who that?
All right, you be blessed, man.
All right, shout out to the OG. And before I bring the next call on, I want to give a shout out to Mike Ritz. Mike Ritz, he was on our preview show And like I said earlier when I first got on the show, um, not gonna bring nobody on the podcast, for the preview show, and then we lose and try to run away from it. No, Mike Rich, you definitely can hit the link and call in if you free, got time. But yeah, when we bring on guests on the show that's opposing fans, regardless of if they division rivals or not, if we lose, they're gonna have the invitation to come on. We're not gonna run, we're not gonna hide or anything. But yeah, man, the Panthers they made plays, they took advantage of the plays that we couldn't make, fumbles and all that. But okay, we're gonna go to the next caller, man. We got Brandon McGowan in the building. Brandon, what's good with you, fam?
What's happening? What's happening? Everything's fine on my end.
Oh, well, that's good, fam. Well, the floor is yours, man. You can vent, whatever, man. What's on your mind with your team, fam? What's your thoughts on the game?
Well, like on Sunday, I said I wasn't in town to watch it on TV, but I did see the highlights thereafter. And what really bothers me is that why our offense is not making any adjustments. Like why we're not running the ball, why we're not pounding the rock or to self the pass. Why James sitting back though 40 or 50 times a game, knowing that our offensive line can't pass block for crap. I
Agree
said,
with you.
try to make it, man.
Yeah, I agree, fam. I mean, the pass protection has to get better. It has to get better. The first two games, the coaching staff seen that. The offensive line realized it. Jameis knew, he got to get better recognizing when blitzing, when they trying to blitz, get people adjusted. Far as the when I say he needs to get people adjusted, the offensive line communicate within themselves. So they point out who they need to pick up. So
Right,
I won't really put that on him like that. But when you got tight ends and you got your running back and you may have a receiver in the slot stuff. You can kind of audible things up. You can audible the play up. Um, you can do that early in the play clock before it's getting down to 8, 7, 6 seconds, and now you starting to point out stuff. Um, that's the thing with that. But yeah, everybody has some fault in why the blitzes isn't getting picked up, and they have to do better, fam. They got to do better at that.
right. Like I said, like most of the subtractions we have on this team, like it's showing up a little bit, but like it's early. Like something about preseason that you got to get some reps in. Like if you saw what Kansas City and Buffalo have been doing in the preseason, even though they don't matter, but with those reps all together, especially even on defense, like I said, you got to have the whole band together or to get your communications down on both sides of the ball. And I'm not and damn and about special teams, our special teams ain't showing up this year. Kickers, like I said, the kickers missing 3 points left and right. We're not getting block kicks or block punts other than the Falcons game that we special teams wanting them to block kick. Like we got to do, like I said, we got to do something in order to amp this team up, order to get some momentum. Because we got to score points. We got to score points in the first quarter. We got to score in the second and third quarter. Like you can't wait till the fourth quarter in order to just get on the board and score points. Like you got to get some offense going. You got to get some consistency. Every play in, every play out, and most through the whole season in order to have a chance to win these games that you should win when it's come up close. In the Buccaneers game, like I only came back to see the fourth quarter, and the Saints was still in that game. And then James was starting the fourth. Like he didn't have to, but he had to take what the defense give him. even if we
Right.
have to punt, because our defense playing well.
Right.
I just want to put my 2 cents on that.
Okay, fam. Definitely agree with everything you saying, fam. So anything else you wanna get off your chest?
Well, there's one more thing I want to do. Get off my chest. We're traveling to London this Sunday, and this I thought this was gonna look more like 17 just like the way the schedule showed up. Cause like I remember back in 17 in week 2, we had the loss to a Tom Brady led team in the dome, and then in week 3 we won the Panther game, dominate that game back in 17. Unlike yesterday, and then we got another game going to London. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully the London game will try to be like the one versus the Dolphins back in 2017. The defense going to definitely have to get in Kirk Cousins' face this Sunday. And the offense, like I said, we got to tote that rock, man. Got to pound and tote that rock, pound the fight queens into submission. Let's 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 beat them up physically. So Kirk Cousins won't pull out no miracles against the Saints again.
That's
That's all I got
facts,
to say.
fam. That's facts. Well, I definitely want to appreciate you for calling in, man, getting your vent out. Everything you said was facts. Wasn't nothing debatable on that, fam. And I said we gotta get things fixed on the offensive side. I mean, I'm surprised that we saying this, considering the talent that we have, but it is what it is. We gotta fix it ASAP before we get deep in the schedule. So it has to happen this week. But
It easily could be an 0-3, but thankfully we still ahead. The Falcons in third in the South, and thanks to the Packers for stopping the Buccaneers from trying to run away with it. Like we still in it. This is early, but we got a lot of stuff to get fixed. All sides of the ball, and special teams. And Pete Carmichael, he got to change. He has to change his offense because it's getting very bland the way how he run it. He's looking like the modern version of Sean Payton, not like the pre 2010 version of Sean Payton. Got to run the ball. We got to play aggressive. And,
right,
on the defense side of the ball, Pajama Williams needs to take a seat. He needs to take a seat. He gave up 2 key touchdowns in back-to-back games that that we had a chance to keep in. He gave us the one to that that with the rest cheated us in that Bucks game on that drive because he had a chance for interception. He was right there at it. All you got to do is look up for the ball. He's right there with the receiver. All you catch that ball and get the interception, and we stop them from scoring. And then he had to make that. And goes in the Carolina game, he has to make that tackle on Sano to prevent that first down. And then our defense was running behind him as he ran all the way to the end zone and scored. Like Pajama, he hit the hell down, like for real. So I'm still mad we traded out Menace, and then we kept PJ literally for beignets and gumbo. You didn't get nothing in return. Like I'm pissed off about that as well. Should have gone a long time ago.
yeah, I agree, fam.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of good points. But yeah, fam, man. Definitely appreciate you for calling in, fam. Thank you for being a huge supporter of the podcast. We definitely appreciate that. And we're definitely gonna get through it, man. I believe the team gonna turn it around, but I hope they don't wait until it's too late. It's gonna get fixed at some point, but the time needs to be now. It gotta be now.
NFC still wide open. Ain't nobody running away with that. Like you look at what the Eagles are doing. Like they're looking pretty dangerous. And and by the time week 17 come around to play them, we got to come up with a hell of a game plan, like to come with a win against them. But right now we got to focus on the Vikings. Right now we got to get still a win there, in London. We come back to the state, and you know we got to get our season on track here. Like, the South is still open. Tampa's not gonna run away with it, and hopefully we get revenge back on them on Monday Night Football when we see them again. I have a feeling that we gonna beat Tampa in Tampa, and we're gonna send Brady a retirement card after the game. Probably send him another tablet. That's all I gotta say, G.
Well, all right, fam. Well, who that to you, fam?
Who that? Black and gold to the bowl, baby.
All right, fam.
Still believe. All right.
All right, definitely shout out to Brandon. Appreciate you for calling in, fam. Okay, well, I got the link in the comment section. I'm gonna read a few more comments. Don't nobody else want to call in. I get the show wrapped up. I do want to shout out to Hoodie Jude, calling in. Well, tuning in. Shout out to Hoodie Jude. You guys make sure y'all support this podcast. If you haven't done so already, shout out to him. Shout out to Darius Levy, said play calling has to get better on offense. That's a fact, fam. Okay, let's see. And shout out for Crafts 4. Shout out to you tuning in, fam. Said James Hurts ain't gonna work, fam. When is Trevor gonna be ready? Yeah, we definitely are missing Trevor Penning. Well, I'm not even gonna say it like that because he hasn't played an NFL real game yet. So I really can't just say that we missing him, but he's shown some flashes of what he can do. And all we can just hope is that, he's ready to go. Good thing that, we have something we can kind of depend on um, with Trevor Penning. Like I said, he ain't played no NFL game yet, but, it's good news that his season is not over. And hopefully we see him in early October. I believe they said his timetable is going to be around early to mid October. So that's a good thing. That's just a few more weeks away. So, yeah, but Trevor Penning, he's needed, ASAP, at least for us to see what he can do. And to me, it looked like he was winning the battle in training camp. I mean, they had him playing with the starters when the starters played in preseason. So that pretty much meant that that he won the battle against James Hurst. So, if that's being said, then Trevor, he should be performing. I mean, we should get better performance than what we get from James Hurst. But who that nation is, what it is. I mean, we just gotta, like I said, that recognizing the blitzes, picking up the blitzes, and we knew Drew. He done a fantastic job at that. This is a different quarterback. IQs is different. Drew is one of the greatest QBs of all time. It's more than just throwing the football. Yeah, he was pinpoint accurate, but his IQ was crazy as well. Able to put the ball in insert positions. Yeah, I mean, all that comes into play. It's more than just being able to throw the football and slinging it and stuff like that. Miss Todd said, "Y'all have so much to say. Call in." Yeah, I agree. I really want Brian Davis to get on. I mean, it's just like I said, it'd be respectful conversation, and it ain't nothing. I just when we do shows and stuff, what comes out my mouth or the team's mouth, I just want it to be clearly understood by the Who That Nation. I believe what we deliver on here is clearly everybody understands what we saying. Yeah, but that blame Jameis stuff. Of course, he gonna get some of the blame. Yeah, nobody gets a pass. Nobody gets a pass. I mean, and honestly, the defensive line ain't been showing up like it. As far as getting to the quarterback, they haven't been showing up at all. They haven't been showing up at all. And some of Baker's throws, that was on Baker. So he done, the defense is solid on a few third downs where he couldn't get the throw off, especially early in the game. I forgot who it was. It was either I believe it was Robbie Anderson. He was on Roby. If Baker would have made that throw, it looked like it could have been six or a huge gain. So Baker also helped, the defense out as well on a few third down plays. Okay, Dejuan said we can turn this around. It'll be hard, but we can. Yeah, it's early on in the season. Now's the time to turn things around. Now's the time for that. You can't wait until week 7 and 8, and then you start exploding. If our record is not good, I mean, we behind the pack. So now's the time to turn things around. We done been 1-2 before. We done been 1-2, and we done got things turned around. But it was it was more on us beating ourselves. We wasn't really asking those 1 and 2 starts. It was more on penalties and us hitting, shooting ourselves in the foot. We shooting ourselves in the foot now, but as far as the offense, it's more of like what is going on? Like what is actually going on, man? That's really what it is with the offense. Shooting yourself in the foot, that has things to do with penalties, fumbling the ball. That's pick sixes. Man, we've been having a fumbling issue. Um, Turning over the football, that's shooting yourself in the foot. But if we unable to have plays develop on offense, that's deeper than shooting ourselves in the foot. That's more of what's going on with the offense. Why aren't we being able to drive the football up and down the field with all these pieces we got out here? That's the problem. Okay, well, I see we don't have any more callers. Trying to give y'all a little bit of time. I can take maybe one or two, but yeah, man, I'm trying to get y'all the floor. I didn't want to do a lot of talking because this is y'all show today. Like I said yesterday on our post game show, we done all the talking yesterday. We didn't want to open up the lines or anything like that. So and that was just due to us being just wanting to get our thoughts in, and we frustrated. Didn't want to be on too long. Okay, I see Miss Tar. She said yes, I will. Yeah, Miss Tar, man. Everybody, it's a few people not wanting to call in. I don't know why. Man, we're gonna type in the comments. Call in, who that nation. This is the place it's all respectful. I mean, if you feel like the Who That Nation blaming Jameis, I agree with that. We do got, fans that's just going on Jameis, just him alone. It's more than just Jameis. I just feel like Jameis need to take a seat and let himself heal up. That's what I feel like he should do. And that's just being honest. And it's affecting some of his short throw. Well, it's affecting, a lot of his throws, short and deep throws. Chris Olave had to adjust on that deep throw he caught. He had to make an adjustment and catch that. Let me read some comment. Brian Davis said, "I'm at work." Okay, fam. You at work. You Who That Nation. You a Who That, fam. Like I said, you can come on here and vent. That's what I want y'all to do today. This y'all show. Okay, I'm gonna read a few more comments and then I'm gonna wrap this up if I don't see nobody pop up on the call screen. Jeremiah Whitley said it's two penalty calls from real shaking my head. It gotta stop screw up on our team like that. For real, play the ball right. It's a real fact. Yeah, the refs do play a part, but this is something that the team know. Even us as Saints fans, we know that the refs, they give us a hard time with calls. We know this. And if we know this, then I mean, in these meeting rooms and stuff, that stuff ought to be understood that the refs is gonna potentially, make calls that doesn't go our way. So let us do the things that we can control. What we can control is moving the football up and down the field, making stops on defense, not sitting here fumbling the ball, allowing teams to pick it up for pick sixes, fumbling the ball, change the momentum of the ball game. It's a 3-3 game. You fumbling the football. We're right there in the red zone on our way to change the momentum of the ball game, get a momentum going, things like that. Forcing the ball downfield, not picking up blitzes. These are things that the Saints can do themselves. And you don't even got to worry about the referees potentially calling. If we're playing the Rams or like some real dudes out there, the Bucks, they real. I mean, that's just being honest. We don't, they divisional, but they're a real football team. They're a good football team. But cats like Atlanta and the Panthers, yes, they divisional games, but that don't mean we got to be in tight ball games with them like that, or we getting our ass kicked and having to fight back. That ain't gonna be the a. Okay, fam, I hear you. If you're a Panther fan, you know overall y'all squad ain't about to go nowhere. That's a fact. You know y'all ain't back. That's what I like. Just sitting at the game, like you hearing these Panther fans chirp, and you know good and damn well y'all ain't about to go nowhere this season. But they just so happy they beat the Saints. Like, come on, like we're gonna meet again in New Orleans. You gotta meet us again in New Orleans. But what is y'all's team gonna do as a whole? What kind of expectation? Y'all sitting here before the game talking about it's time for Mike Rule to get fired. Y'all talking about Mike Rule getting fired, and then now all of a sudden y'all winning. Now it's some other shit, man. Fuck the Panthers, man. I ain't trying to say too many words on here, so I'm gonna chill. But yeah, man, that's just that blows my mind when you hear fans talking like that. One minute you talking about fire the coach, the next minute now it's on something else. But yeah, good job, Panther. Y'all won the ball game. Y'all won the ball game. That's what y'all want, but your season ain't about to end the way y'all want it. Y'all not making the playoffs at all. At some point, Matt Rule gonna get up out of there. It just wasn't this game. This game, Matt Rule, he just survived this week. Because if y'all would have lost yesterday, he probably would have been getting the exit today. Okay, I see Miss Tar says she gonna call in. Okay, so Miss Tar be our last caller for the day. As far as the other callers, don't start hopping in when she get on. Yeah, y'all time to get on. Like I said, this is a safe spot, man. We safe spot, man. You can talk your opinions and everything on here when we open up the lines. As far as Jarvis and Mike, I seen a report saying that they injury shouldn't be that serious. They getting an MRI today, so um, that's good news. That's definitely good news for us. Mike Thomas should be getting more targets. Shout out to Chris Olave. Olave, man, he gonna be a dog. I think he had 9 catches for 149 yards. He definitely gonna be a dog. As far as a possession receiver, Mike, nobody is stopping him. Feed bro the ball. Feed him the ball ASAP. Like he should be getting 10, 11 targets a game. Ain't nobody shutting it down. Keep feeding him the ball. You throw it to him, he gonna catch it. He gonna catch it unless the defender make a play on the ball. Give Mike the football. That don't mean you ignore Olave year, but it's seeming like Jameis trying to force it, and it's nothing wrong with that. If it's open, it's open. If it's open, it's open, fam. Take that shot. But yeah, Mike should be getting the most reps at receiver on this ball club, and that shouldn't even be debatable. Because honestly, really the focus, talking about getting this offense turned around, we need to be able to keep possessions going. So we need to focus on moving the chains, instead of trying to take home run chances. That need to be the thing. Let's start making possession type catches when we're passing the football, and then just let it, escalate. Okay, I see we got Miss Tar at the line. Miss Tar, how you doing? Can you hear me, Miss Tar?
Hello?
Hey, Miss Tar, welcome. Welcome to the show.
Hey, who that? Who that? What's happening, y'all? Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody?
Oh, hey, we're doing better. We're doing a little bit better. Gotta move past this game.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I'm gonna first give a shout out to the chat on this morning. Y'all keep holding it down like we holding it down because we know Scrubs gonna enter first of all. But here is the thing. This is what I have a major problem with. I'm gonna pull to the side real quick. I have a major problem with the Who Dat Nation first of all. The fans, I go way back. Let me just say that 40 plus years for me, and it's been some gloomy Mondays. But what I got to say positive about this Monday, it wasn't so gloomy, even though we lost the game that we should have won. We had high expectations with this team going into this year, and we just not seeing it just yet. Yes, there's a lot of football, but when you don't have everybody that's supposed to be on your team on the same page, it's hard. And that starts with this Who Dat Nation as well. Y'all some of the most biased people I ever seen in my life. A lot of y'all came into this thing when it was just Drew Brees and Sean Payton. Y'all came in back in 2006. Y'all wasn't here when the Dawn Patrol was here, when we had a defense and we didn't have an offense, and Bobby Abear and all them throwing all these picks and Aaron Brooks and all of them. But we were still a team. Now it's so much division within the Who Dat Nation about who's this and who is that. Yes, we are expecting Jameis to do great things. Why? Because he's the one behind the center. He's the one that's going to get the ball down, whether it's check downs, whether it's screen plays, whether it's bombs away, whether he do it like Breeze did and take it over that 1 yard line and we call it a touchdown. This is a different team. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of mistakes. I even see the defense, but that's not the issue for me. The issue is first and foremost with the fans, and then it's offensive play calling. What's going on with the play calling? What's going on with the screen game? What's going on with the check downs? Yeah, Jameis is missing a lot. But can we solely blame it on Jameis? Because I thought it was not a man, not a one person show here. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like this here. I really feel like the offense needs to get it together. Coach Dennis Allen, they chose him to stay because he was already on the inside when they should have left him as the defensive coordinator. Sometimes the prize is not within. You got to go outside and go get the prize. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe in leadership. I'm in leadership. And that's the one thing that I try to depict is leadership. Why? Because people are looking at you, you know. And so we're looking at Dennis Allen. We're looking at Pete Carmichael. We don't know. That's another reason why he probably stayed in the shadow of Sean Payton. We really don't know, but time is going to tell. Time is really going to tell what this team is made of. We knew that we were going through a transition. We knew this. Everybody talking about we wanted Sean Payton to go and we wanted Breeze to go. Let me tell you something. For me personally, I love them both. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Breeze should have been gone 4 years ago. You heard me? He should have been gone 4 years ago, and Payton never been the same coach since he came back from the bounty. Yeah, we got over the hump. We have won some divisions, but the fire was not the same, y'all. It was not the same. I think that what happened was we stayed in the thing too long with certain people. Breeze, we are forever grateful. We are forever grateful for what Drew Brees done. But let me tell you something. Just like they left Drew Brees in with a noodle arm and it was banged up, they're going to do the same thing with Jameis. Why? Because that's who they chose. And if we're not riding with who it is that the team chose, then you need to check yourself. Y'all need to look at the man in the mirror. For real, for real. I got 4 sons, so I'ma come hard, y'all. Y'all know T Mom, I love y'all, but I just gotta keep it real here. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this offense has to get it together. The calls got to come in that's going to suit the team, that's going to suit the quarterback that they chose, that's going to suit the coach. They didn't want Eric Bieniemy because Bieniemy wanted to come in as a head coach. He didn't want to come in as no coordinator. Can you blame him? No. Why? Because he knows his leadership role. He knows his talent. You know what I'm saying? But this is just too much. You know, everywhere you look on social media, everybody just bashing this team, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just really, really sad. It's really sad to be bashing the team the way that, you know, that we're not me per se, but because I'm a part of this Who That Nation, I'm just going to include myself in it. But some of y'all are real foul. Some of y'all are real foul, how you've been handling things, how you've been saying things, and life and death is in the power of your tongue. Y'all keep speaking. Y'all been speaking stuff about Jameis Winston before the man even had the 4 vertebrae going bad in his back. Everybody caught up on what he used to do. You see what I'm saying? Everybody want to keep this man locked down in his past. That ain't right. Now, yeah, you can't say that, okay, well, T-Mama, you know, well, he did do it. Yes, but y'all got to understand that there's a brighter day and start believing in people. You know, the talent is there. The talent is really there in Jameis. The talent is in this offense. Yeah, Kamara, we had 3 fumbles. Now, y'all know my guy is Mark Ingram. Ingram has been my guy since coming out of Alabama. I'm an LSU girl. You know what I'm saying? I live on the West Coast, been here 25 years, but I'm a Southern girl deep down in my bones. But these fumbles, you know, this team has not gelled. Why? This team is not disciplined. Why? Why isn't it a sense of urgency with this team? The thing that we lack as well, we know that the up-temp beat of this team works. That we know that the hurry up offense, we know that nobody can stop us. No team, no defense can stop that hurry up offense that we have. They need to put that in play just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Where are the adjustments? I'm not blaming nobody for what they came on here and said today because your feelings is your feelings. You know what I'm saying? But this team has got to, they got to level up. CB, they got to level up big time. The offense got to level up big time. And all these throws, 40 throws, from Jameis, ain't no way in the world they should be throwing that ball, chunking it down the field like they doing with Jameis. Where's the protection for him? They already know what type of quarterback he is. They know that he's a quarterback that's going to throw interceptions if he gets antsy. If there is no patience with Jameis is going to throw. He's going to throw them interceptions. So what the coaches need to do is step in and say, you know what? No, we ain't finna have you do this. We're going to give you some sharp passes, and we're going to have you to do some screen plays here until you can exercise the gift of the arm that you do have. But I just feel like this is the coaching is just not. They're not doing what they need to do. They're not doing what they need to do, and we're gonna waste the defense, just like we wasted the offense when we had Drew Brees all those years and he carried the team. We're gonna lose this defense. Am I right about it? Talk to me, CB. Y'all talk to me.
Ms. Tar, you so on point. What you just said, a lot of this new generation of Saints fans. I'm talking about the ones that you said came in the Sean and Breeze era, the ones that got on board. A lot of them, this what you just said gonna go over their head. But that right there, the mic should be dropped. We should just end the podcast right after all that you just said. That was so on point. Like you 100% correct on what you just said with everything you just said.
And even with my sons, now my whole household is Saints. I mean, I got 4 sons. I had no girls, all boys. And my boys, they know what it's about. We bleed black and gold, and my youngest will be 22. My eldest is 32, and I got in between there, what have you. You know what I'm saying? But even they came in the era of Breeze. They was watching football here and there right before, but they really got into it around that time. And I have a son that, my second eldest, he fired up. He don't want Jameis. He don't want, and both of them are ball players. They both play defense. My eldest and my second eldest. You know what I'm saying? They defensive guys or whatever. But he don't want Jameis. He's still harping and stuck on Breeze or whatever, and that's all good because he knows a little bit of the X and O's more than I do. But what I'm saying is that if you down for me, be down for me all the way. That's the problem that I have with the Who Dat Nation. Y'all, first of all, y'all saying Hosanna, Hosanna, and the next minute, y'all crucifying this team, man. That ain't cool at all if you're going to ride with 40 plus years for me. I was 13 years old. People say when they was a baby or a little kid or whatever. But see, it's about accountability. It's about the age of accountability. If you was 3 and 4 years old, you don't really know much about football or what have you. But nevertheless, what I'm saying is that, when your team is struggling, they're struggling. Point blank, let's talk about the solution. But I hear everybody hopping on the problem. Every time you turn around, it's what they didn't do wrong. We already know this, fam. We already know what they didn't do wrong. What can they do right? But it's too much of adversity in this Who Dat Nation. It's too much opposition, man. We done turned the swords on each other. And they like this because they know one for certain and two for sure that the Who Dat Nation fans is the greatest. They know that. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to come in and discombobulate us. But y'all got to get it together. My main focus about this, I can go on and on and on, CB, but I know you got to go and do what you got to do, baby. But guess what? My main focus about this today was to deal with the Who Dat Nation. Y'all down bad and y'all wrong. Y'all wrong for scandalizing. Yes, criticize, but y'all don't know how to do it. Y'all dragging for this, that, and the other. Instead of saying, okay, well, we know they're not affected here, there, and doing this and doing that, what they should be doing. Even Jameis looked like he done took a little step backwards or what have you. But, man, all of the negativity, how can you come through that? How can you really come through the negativity? You see what I'm saying, CB? Go ahead, baby.
I'm just agreeing with you fast.
You
got me quiet. I'm just sitting here just soaking it all in.
We got each other here. I'm repping big time on this West Coast, they know when I'm coming. They are, oh, Nola, she, and yeah, who that? It's still who that. And see, when I see them trying to come, you know, they already know. I got that block up there. They already know. Look, you coming against T-Mama, you better come correct when it come down with the Saints. Because guess what? This team can do it. This team here can do it. But we got to get it together. Is it over? It ain't over, baby, until the clock strikes 17 games. We know this here. But we need our team to hang in there. We need our coaches to get their minds all the way right. And no, we don't need Sean Payton back, and we don't need Drew Brees. Let's just go on through it. If it ain't going to be good, it's all good. Just go on through it. Just go on through it because we can't go back. Drew Brees is done. Y'all need to get that. Y'all need to get that through your head right now. You heard me? Drew Brees, his time is done. We thank him. He got us a bowl. He's got many, many records. But Drew Brees is not coming back. And when Drew Brees was here and he was going through the injuries, did they take Drew Brees out? No. He decided to be out at some point because he was too banged up. But there was times where Drew Brees was selfish himself. Y'all can say Jameis is selfish all you want to, but the GOAT Drew Brees was selfish too. How about that? Nobody want to talk about that. If y'all going to be real about it, be 100. I was at the games, at the Rams game, when I seen Drew Brees got hit by the thumb. We was in the Coliseum. And all we see is Teddy Bridgewater running out on the field, and everybody looking at each other like, wait a minute, we're after tailgating and having big fun, and we seeing this or what have you. He had no other choice but to go out the game. Nobody want to talk about the choices that he didn't have. Everybody want to talk about the choices that he did have, and this, that, and that, but he had no other choice because if Drew Brees could have got away that day on that Sunday, Drew Brees would have stayed in that game. But y'all want to blame, just like you said, CB, and I'm going to cut it after this because, like I said, I can go on and on. Just like you said, Jameis Winston is playing for his career right now. Jameis Winston knows if he comes out and Andy Dalton's get in there, his career may be over. It just may be over because they didn't pull Drew Brees to put Jameis in because they know how that would tear him down. Do you not know how much damage more that could do now? At this point, I don't know. Whoever get under center, I'm good with it. All I know is I want to win. I'm a winner. So whoever going to get back there and do the job, hey, let's do it. Let's do it. But, you know, who that nation, we got to get back on one page. We got to get back on one page, and we got to stop it with this madness against each other. And I love y'all, but that's all I got to say, CB. That's it, baby.
That's the drop mic right there, Miss Tar. I'm so glad you came on and just said everything you just said. That sums up everything. That sums up everything. Everything you said, you just hitting it right on the nail.
Oh, right yeah, and one more thing. Yeah, and one more thing about the dome, there is no more dome field advantage right now. That's over. Mm-hmm. That's over. It's not like it used to be. The Who That Nation, y'all losing it. I ain't going to talk about the team because that's all y'all want to talk about is the team did this and the team didn't do that and this, that, and the other. I'm talking about the Who That Nation right now. Y'all, we done lost it. We're not the same no more. The wins do come better on the road, and it's been that way for about 3, 4, 5 years now.
Right.
Yeah.
We definitely, the Who That Nation plays a part. You got to get the dome rocking. You play a part. We play a part in that. So hopefully we can get that back. But Ms. Tar, definitely want to thank you for coming on. Said everything you said, especially about this, because a lot of the negativity. It's some old Saints fans as well, but it's a lot of these new Saints fans. They're not used to seeing a little bit of adversity. All they used to seeing is the shine and Breeze That offense being explosive for majority of their time here. They so used to that. They so used to Breeze being able to pick apart defenses. He could even do it, in his latter stage. He just couldn't stretch the field. But yeah, I'm glad you addressed that. Because yeah, it's a lot of the latter Saints fans, the newer Saints fans, that's speaking all this negativity. People, wanting Jameis done. I'm talking about done. Not even talking about his injury or anything. They didn't want him in the first place. Because of what? Things in the past when he was a little boy, 17, 18, 19, little kid. They still holding on to that. But you said everything that needed to be said. Miss T Mama, definitely
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
you for
Well,
calling me.
hopefully, they phone call completed. Hopefully they can do better with this. Can you hear me, CB?
Yes, I can.
Okay, hold on. I don't know. Let me see. Maybe my Bluetooth disconnected. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead on and end it, and I'm gonna jump back in the chat because I'm in traffic. I'm working. That's what I do. I got to out here in Cali. Yeah, it's all expensive. You got to do what you got to do out here. But I'm gonna jump back in the chat because I think I'm disconnected in my Bluetooth, and it might hang you up. But thank you, CB. Keep doing what y'all doing. I love the Who That Nation chat line, and it's all good, baby. And guess what? It's Who That for life over here.
Okay, and who that to you, Miss T Mama?
Who that to you, CB? Who that nation? Y'all be blessed.
Wee. That was about 10, 15 minutes of straight flames right there. I'm so glad she came on. We'll take our last caller. Shout out to Who That Davis. Y'all know who That Davis is.
Hold
Host
on,
of the
CP
Black
dog.
and Gold podcast, breakdown podcast. Y'all should sure make y'all be sure to subscribe to his page, man. But Aaron, man, what's up, fam? Definitely glad to have you on.
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? I'll just say one thing right now. Make sure you inhale that oxygen and you exhale that carbon dioxide. Just breathe, breathe. I expected the Saints to lose to the Panthers, believe it or not. We as Saints fans have underestimated how really hard it is to run an NFC South gauntlet back to back to back for 3 consecutive weeks. The Starting with the Falcons and their new quarterback uh, and their new head coach, like the whole system over here is new, right? You don't know what's going to happen. You know Marcus Mariota threatens you with his legs, so you had to play conservative. You know that game was going to come down to the wire. I initially picked the Bucks to go 1-1 with the Saints this year because Tom Brady was eventually going to get his get back, and that was a trap game for the New Orleans Saints at home. We all knew it was coming at some point. We all know the Bucks are going to win against us at some point, especially when we're at home in the dome because for whatever reason the Saints don't live up to par in week 2. Right, week 2 has been weird. The Saints haven't been 2-0 since 2013. Let that sink in for a second. Since 2013, no 2-0 record. And then you got the Carolina Panthers with Baker Mayfield, his ability to threaten you with his legs in the play action. That defense is underrated. That Panthers defense can fly all over the field. They got speed guys at every level, from the interior all the way up to Jeremy Chin in their secondary. That defense doesn't get talked about as much because of what their offense doesn't do for them and complementary, kind of like the Saints are so far this year. But this went about as I expected. Like the only if you take what the last 2 years from 2020 and 2021, those are sort of outliers compared to what's been going on as of late. We look at these records like 0-2, 1-1, 1-1, 0-2, 0-2, 1-1. You look at the last 3 games, you got 1-2. You got 2-1 in 2019. You've got 2 in 2020. You got 1-2
in 2020 last season. Look, come on, y'all. The fact what I'm trying to get at is it's not time to hit the panic button just yet. We'll start with the offense. That's everybody wants. That's what everybody wants to start at. The offense has some gelling to do. It does. Doesn't matter how long a quarterback has been in the system. It's going to take time for a guy to get acclimated to his new receivers. Yeah, and we're seeing it progress daily. Like I'm gonna say daily. I say weekly. We are seeing the product being gelled together, being put together piece by piece by a weekly basis. Week 4, I expect the Saints to come out with a narrow victory, not a dominant victory, but a narrow victory over the Minnesota Vikings, and that's what I believe they'll start to put together a nice little run before the Week 6 game against the Cincinnati Bengals. That's going to be a tough test. Jameis, I am not absolving him of anything. I am a big Jameis Winston apologist. Most of y'all know that. But he is not above reproach, as is anybody. Jameis has to play better. He has to understand what the defense is trying to do in terms of blitzing. And that's going to come in time, right? He didn't practice much of most of training camp, or second half of training camp, because he was dealing with an ankle injury. And now you're trying to thrust him into live fire action against NFC South opponents who know his tendencies better than any other division, right? So it's kind of not fair to put all this on Jameis when the entire team as a whole. When you look at this game between the Saints and the Carolina Panthers, did you know that Chris McCaffrey went for over 100 yards? CB, let me ask you this. Did it really feel like CMC went for over 100 yards in that game?
It didn't feel like it. And
it didn't, right?
And the reason why I say that, because it was just more of it was kind of like that we was just so focused in on the offense not being productive, we was kind of forgetting what McCaffrey was really.
Exactly. It didn't feel like it because he had one breakout run. Just one huge run that kind of skewed the numbers a bit. This game came down to which units played better overall. And in this case,
I think you kind of froze up. Yeah, you kind of froze up, fam. You kind of give him a few seconds to.
Yeah, I'm still here. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Panthers just had a better defensive specialty unit. Shout out to the kicker, but shout out to the puncher, by the way. The puncher hit, I believe, 3 or 4 punts inside the 10-yard line. That is some field flipping shit. I haven't seen that out of any other NFC South team other than my boy Blake Gilligan. You can't play bad in 2 out of 3 units and expect to come out with a win. You can't have that, especially when you know that your offense is still trying to find its identity. You can't have that. For whatever reason, they didn't get their special teams unit together. We glossed over this fact in week 1 because they won the game, but that game-winning field goal by Will Lutz was just inches away from being blocked because Andrews Pete let an inside guy through. He barely missed it. It went literally through his hands. It went through his outstretched hands. We just didn't pay attention to that because they won. But that's a serious area they need to improve on. It's blocking for the point afters and the field goals. Those things are crucial. And I don't want Dwayne Washington.
I think you kind of broke up again, fam. But I heard you say Dwayne Washington. Yeah, I definitely agree with Dwayne Washington not being back there. I'd rather see Callaway back there if Jarvis can't do it. Yeah, fam, froze up again. But yeah, that's a point. Yeah, that I really didn't bring up like that. I didn't even bring it up like that on the post game about. Well, I did bring it up about Deontay Hardy needs to be out there. I'm not sure what the scratch was with him, but he shouldn't be getting scratched out for for Traquan. I don't know if that was the move or not. I think who that Davis had some technical difficulties. But I'm gonna give him a few seconds to come back in. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap the show up. But yeah, shout out to Miss T Mama for calling in. That was definitely some flames that she put out. It's gonna go over a lot of people's head, but if you really listen to what she was saying, that's facts. That's facts. Just blaming one person. You say you a New Orleans Saints fan, but you sit here one guy on the team you not wanting. It's like, how can you say you a real who that? Whoever's behind center, I'm gonna support. And right, I mean, Jameis is our guy. He's the quarterback. So yeah, I'm gonna go down to the grave with him. Whether he's productive or not, but he's gonna be productive. Okay, I see. We got who that Davis back in.
My internet is being stupid lately. But I ain't had too much to say after that. All I'm saying is just relax, folks. The offense is going to figure it out. They're going to come away with a win against the Minnesota Vikings. Usually when the Saints play in London, they go on a run after the fact. See 2017 when they last played the Miami Dolphins. The offense is going to gel when it needs to. They're going to come away with a 2-game win streak, and they may end up being up in the air against Cincinnati. Right? It's only fair. Just relax, folks. We know the Saints are historically slow when it comes to getting out of the gate. This shouldn't be a surprise to most of us. Frustration, sure. Just calm down with the slander, right? We're gonna be fine. Now, if they lose to the Vikings, then we're gonna have another conversation. We're gonna have another conversation. That's for the following week. That's if they lose. I don't have us losing in this game, right? Hey, Warner though. Pete Warner, I'm on my Pete Warner bullshit. I told everybody from the get-go, stop sleeping on my boy Pete. He looked like the only guy that wanted to make a play out there. On defense, at least. Shoo, I'm on my Pete Warner bullshit, CB. Because you know I've been waving that Pete Warner flag since the day he was drafted. Everybody wanted to come at my neck about Pete Warner. Talk about Quan this, Quan that. Nah, fuck that boy. I love Quan. I love his energy. I love his hype. But it's Pete Warner all fucking day. Y'all can't tell me otherwise. You feel me? With that said, I'm out. I got to get my Wi-Fi fixed because it's going in and out right now. And I got to finish up work. Shout out to you. Shout out to Carly, WD. I saw Uptown here recently. I wanted to talk to him. Which give Uptown my regards. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Your boy Hudak Davis is out. I'll see y'all next time.
Definitely appreciate you for tuning in, Aaron, and make sure you guys go support this podcast, the Breakdown, Saints Breakdown podcast. And yes, I want to definitely appreciate you all for tuning in. Definitely had a lot of positivity, as far as everybody speaking their mind, being on point, nothing too negative. It wasn't not negative at all, to be honest, but I'm glad Miss Todd came in and, had to say what she had to say about that, man, because a lot of Saints fans were the ones that's trying to break Jameis' neck need to hear that. It's the whole team had things to work on. The coaching staff has things to work on. This ain't no, like she said, this ain't no man. This is men spreads itself out. There's not no one man to this. So shout out to everybody that tuned in. Shout out to the whole chat. And I hope you guys enjoyed this show, man. I think we need to do more of these, just a fan show in general, to where you guys call in and give us your thoughts and opinions. Shout out to my whole team, man. Shout out to WD, SaintsUptown, Payton. Payton been out for a minute, man. We should be having him come back on pretty soon. So you guys be on the lookout for that. And yeah, man, just shout out to everybody that tuned in. Once again, just like Aaron just called in and said, man, we gotta move forward. Things will get better. And shout out to everybody, man. As far as the rundown for this week, I'm kind of thinking, let's see. I'm gonna go with Thursday. Thursday night will be our preview show. Well, wait. I'm gonna check with everybody and see what their schedule's looking like for, say what day it's gonna be. But pretty much Wednesday and Thursday, something is going to be going on, whether it's the Mad Stream or the preview show for the upcoming matchup against the Minnesota Vikings. We know what Justin Jefferson about. We who that fan, so we done seen Jefferson play in college and we seeing what he doing now. So we know we got a task at hand. He's been quiet the last 2 games, so he definitely looking forward to exploding this week. Justin Rigger, man, they got some pieces on there. Dalvin Cook. We got a lot to deal with this week, so let's just get with it, man. Let's move past this ball game. We got to do it. And that pretty much wrap things up. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow the page, hit that thumbs up, and you guys share this video. This is the host CB, and I'm out. Who that?